Hi everyone, let's take a look at the following limit. Find the limit of 2x plus 1 to the power of 1 over 3 minus 1 divided by x as x is approaching to 0. Step 1, if you plug in x to be 0, you would discover this equals to 2 times 0, which is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 to the power of 1 over 3 is going to be 1. And you take that minus 1 divided by 0. And of course, this basically will give you one of the 7 indeterminates, which is 0 divided by 0. So again, never skip step 1. Step 1 is you plug it in. And the moment you discover you get an indeterminate, you move on to step number 2. Now, step 2, again, there are many ways of solving this limit. And to avoid the paradox of choice, I'm just going to show you one method. And the method here is called the difference of cubes. So think about this idea. Again, just to give you a refresher, a cube minus b cube equals to a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. What that means is you go back to the original function, you're going to multiply the top and the bottom by the missing trinomial. That means I'm going to square the first term. I'm also going to square the last term, and I'm going to take the product of the two terms. So 2x plus 1 to the power of 1 over 3, and you're going to add them. So again, just to be very clear, what you're ultimately doing is you're multiplying by 1. So you're not changing the actual value, but you're changing the form. And again, just to reinforce this one more time, this trinomial is this trinomial right here. And a minus b is what's given in the numerator of the actual function. So now I'm going to delete this bottom part. Now that you have a refresher of the difference of cubes, let's move forward. Now, how do we know we're doing it right? If you're doing this right, what happens is something could be crossed off from the top and the bottom. If you start with the bottom, never expand in this case, just copy. Expanding does not add value. You just copy this and it's going to work out nicely in a moment. If you think about the numerator, that's going to be the difference of cubes. You take the cube of a cube root, which will give you 2x plus 1. 1 cube is going to be 1. Now look what happens. When you expand this equals to the limit as x is approaching to 0, 2x plus 1 minus 1 all over. And again, notice I am not expanding the denominator. You can just copy this. It's all going to work out. And there'll be a little trick I'm going to show you to recognize you're doing it right. Now, when you think about 1 minus 1, that's going to give you exactly 0. X divided by x is going to give you 1. The fact that you can cross out x from the top and the bottom signals to you you're on the right track and you're one step away from getting full marks. Now, if you think about this, you're going to plug in x to be 0. When you do, 2 times 0 is going to be 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 to the power of 2 over 3 is still going to be 1. Same thing here. When you plug in x to be 0, 2 times 0 is going to be 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. And 1 to the power of 1 over 3 is going to be 1. And of course, you copy the last one. Now, one little hint I'll tell you is once you've done enough limits, you would discover these are always the same. So you get 1 on 1 in this case. Sometimes it'll be 2, 2, 2. Sometimes it'll be 4, 4, 4. It depends on the function, but that's a little indicator that you're on the right track. So the final answer is going to be 2 over 3. Now, just in case you're thinking, well, how do I really double check this? How do I know for sure I'm doing this right? I would say activate a dual mindset. What that means is you can graph this. And when you do graph this, you would discover the following. So again, let me draw a little scale for you. Let me grab a different color. If you graph y equal to 2x plus 1 to the power of 1 over 3 minus 1 divided by x, the graph, roughly speaking, looks something like this. There's going to be a horizontal asymptote. There's going to be a cavity right there. It's going to kind of go up and go down like that. And this hole that we're talking about is exactly at 0 and 2 over 3. So if by graphing this, by activating a dual mindset, you can confirm you're doing it right. If you find this video meaningful, please comment, subscribe, share, and like. I hope this makes sense.